Happy Monday. Welcome to our video announcement lesson. I was visiting family over the weekend. On my way back home, and my car broke down. The drive shaft broke. And so now I'm at another family member's house to record the video. It's good to have family everywhere. Let's see. Today, we're going to talk about critical essay, final draft news, talk about the rhetorical essay. I'm going to give you a reading, and we're going to go over a lesson called Expressing Coordinate Ideas in Similar Form. And we're going to do that using a PowerPoint that I made a long time ago, but it's still relevant, so it's all good. So the critical essays, my goal is to have them done by Tuesday, but it looks like it'll be Wednesday when I get to finish them, according to how fast I'm going through them. So critical essay final draft, look for it by Wednesday. Some of you will see it beforehand, but I plan to get the last ones done by Wednesday. For our rhetoric lesson for this first part of the week, we are going to look in the lessons folder, look at the exemplary readings, and you're going to read in praise of the F word. In praise of the F word. Remember that rhetoric is persuasion. It's meant to make you think what the author or the originator wants you to think. And it's meant to convince you. Listen out for or read out the argument in praise of the F word. And the title is pretty provocative, and that's on purpose, of course, because rhetoric is on purpose. And see if you agree with our author. In praise of the F word. Let me see. I'll put the link to the exemplary readings at the bottom of this announcement. So you can check out you can get to it easily that way, or you can go to the lessons folder, go click on exemplary readings, and then click on in praise of the F word. And our lesson for our beginning of the week is expressing coordinate ideas in similar form. Now, you're going to see that this is a more efficient way of writing, and we express coordinate ideas in similar form. You'll see what I mean in a minute. We do this so that our message can be more easily understood by our audience. If you want to get your information stuck in someone's head, then you want to express coordinate ideas in similar form. All right, so let's get to that. Let me share. This PowerPoint. Boom. Expressing coordinate ideas in similar form. You got to coordinate. That's one of John Witherspoon's favorite lines. And as you can see, his shirt, he wears pretty flashy clothes, and yeah, he makes everything coordinate in one way or another. I saw him in person one time at a Tyson fight in Vegas. Yeah, I'm that old. Continuing on. Did it freeze on me? Okay, here we are. All right, so a famous example of expressing coordinate ideas in similar form is from the Beatitudes. This is from the Bible. Usually when I use the Bible, if I use the Bible, it's used as literature because it's the all-time best-selling book ever. So I'm going to read this to you, and I just want you to listen for the cadence, and then I'll tell you why this is efficient for understanding. So it goes, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." Now you hear the cadence, like there's a rhythm to it. Blessed are the blah blah blah, for theirs is the blah blah blah. Blessed are they that blah blah blah, for they shall be blah blah blah. What this does for our mind is, since we know the setups for the information that we are supposed to be listening to, our mind doesn't have to actively pay attention to the setups. You know it's coming. Blessed are the, blessed are the, blessed are the, blessed are they. For theirs, for they, for they, for they. So our mind only has to actively pay attention and remember the different parts. Poor in spirit, kingdom of heaven. They that mourn shall be comforted. The meek shall inherit the earth. The righteous shall be filled. And the blessed are they part, like that's, don't have to memorize that because you know it's there. So these kinds of setups help to make your audience remember. Think of the I have a dream speech. I have a dream. We know that he says that. That's not even a part that we have to actively try to memorize. We have to try to memorize the parts that are different. In this lesson also is what is called parallel construction. In parallel construction, we have parts of the sentence where if there's two parts of the sentence, we want each part to have the same construction. So each part should have the same word, parts of speech order. So the parts of speech are noun, verbs, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, interjections, and prepositions. I'm surprised I got all those out that fast. So here it says on the left side is one way to say it. That's not the most efficient way. And on the right side is the better way to say it. On the left side, you'll understand what the message is, but just understand that on the right side would be the better way to say it. So on the left here, we have, formerly, science was taught by the textbook method, while now the laboratory method is employed. You can understand what that sentence is saying. A better way to say it, though, is, formerly, science was taught by the textbook method. Now it is taught by the laboratory method. When you construct things in a parallel way, it even has the same cadence to it, has the same beat. Here we have formerly, which is when, and then we have the subject, the verb, preposition, object, and then we have now, which is when, and we have it, which is the subject, verb, preposition, object. So let's get another example here. Oh, so when you do parallel construction, it tends to exude confidence, certainty, and relatability. Let's get some more examples. Oh, when doing this, if you have an article or preposition, the article or preposition applying to all items in the list or series must either appear once before the first item or we repeat it before each item. So if you have a list, this applies to when you have a list. For example, one way to say it, which is not the best way, is the French, the Italians, Spanish, and Portuguese. Here, the word the is the article. And we want the article to appear once before the whole list or once before each item in the list. So a better way to say this would be the French, the Italians, the Spanish, and the Portuguese, or the French, Italians, Spanish, and Portuguese. See, it's a pretty simple rule. The only reason why you would do what's on the left is if you are working or writing to a beat and you need that extra syllable. But other than that, the preposition or the article should come once before the entire list or once before each item in the list. Another example, in spring, summer, or in winter. Of course, a better way to say that is in spring, summer, or winter. In spring, in summer, or in winter, or in spring, summer, or winter. Idiomatic uses of prepositions. Now, this is pretty advanced. This is something that only editors or English teachers would usually catch. It's not very obvious because, like I said, what's on the left side, people can understand what your point is, but there are better ways to do it. So over here on the left, we have his speech was marked by disagreement and scorn for his opponent's position. So when we have by, his speech was marked by disagreement, and then we have and. So that preposition by has to also go with what comes with the and. His speech was marked by disagreement. His speech was marked by scorn for his opponent's position. So we're missing a preposition. Here, his speech was marked by disagreement with and scorn for his opponent's position. That's what I was looking for, the with. Yeah. So if in your paper you have what's on the left, I'm not going to take off, but I might point it out to you, depending on how good I can tell that you are with grammar, with especially advanced grammar. So disagreement with, scorn for. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, the with. Ooh, these are correlative expressions. Both and, not but, not only, but also, either or, first, second, third, and whatever comes after that. There are others, but these are the most common ones. When you use correlative expressions in your sentences, what follows each part of the correlative expression should be the same part of speech in the same order. So what comes after both, if it's a noun, verb, noun, then what comes after and should be a noun, verb, noun. Let's check out some of these. So correlative expressions should be followed by the same grammatical construction. Let's check out the both and example. On the left side, we have, it was both a long ceremony and very tedious. So after both, we have a, which is an article. We have long, which is an adjective, and we have ceremony, which is a noun. So we have article, adjective, noun. After and, we have an adverb and an adjective. So we want what comes after both and what comes after and to be the same grammatical construction, so the same order of parts of speech. So the good way to say it, a good way to say it would be the ceremony was both long and tedious. So after both, we have an adjective. After and, we have an adjective. Correlative expressions is much more easily understood that way. Let's try not but. A time not for words, but action. You understand what that's saying, but let's say it better. A time not for words, but for action. After not, we have for words. After but, we have for action. See? It's better that way. All right, let's try either or. Either you must grant his request or incur his ill will. You can understand what that's saying. Better way to say it, you must either grant his request or incur his ill will. Yep, same parts of speech. And if you're doing first, second, third, my objections are first, the injustice of the measure. Second, that it is unconstitutional. You can understand what that's saying, but a better way to make your audience understand it would be, my objections are first, that the measure is unjust. Second, that it is unconstitutional. Yeah, correlative expressions. So that's the end. So that is expressing coordinate ideas in similar form. When you're writing, try to keep it in mind. Try to think about making your thoughts that you write as understandable to your audience as possible. Don't make them work to understand. Make it easy for them to understand. I mean, because that's pretty much the point in writing and writing down information for an audience. You want them to get it, and you want them to enjoy getting it. You want them to keep it, and then if you master that, I mean, you're that much closer to becoming a famous writer. And when you do, just give me a shout out in your book. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. All right, so that's our beginning of the week lesson and announcements. Stay tuned for our midweek announcements and lessons on Wednesday or Thursday. And if you have any questions, shoot me a message or pop up in the Collaborate Ultra. I'll be there. All right, until next time.